Good morning, teammates, and welcome to another great training that we're providing for you today. Again, from the home office and for the field, my name is Leroy Flowers, and we're getting ready to start another great CRM training. Before we get started, great note that we do have the Texas Convention coming up this month, the 21st and the 22nd. So hopefully those of you that are in the Texas area, you will be attending that. In June, we'll be having the West Coast Convention as well as the Home Office Builder School, both June 23rd and the 24th. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to introduce your MC for today, $100,000 earner, all the way from Troy, Michigan. We have Heidi McCarroll. Take it away, Heidi.
Thank you, Leroy. Boy, this is so exciting. I think I'm actually losing my voice. Isn't that great? No, I am fired up beyond belief to be on this call today. We are going to give everybody who's in attendance their money's worth. You are in for a treat. Please take notes, literally take notes, and give yourself, the opportunity to just focus, put down, the cell phone for a minute and just really be intently attuned to what the speakers have to say today, because it will transform your business for the better. We are really in for a treat. Our speakers are from all over the country. They have great, what I call meat and potatoes in terms of running a business, like a business owner, like a business builder. And I'm ready. I've got a fresh notepad. I'm going to be taking notes right along the way. But I've been in the business a minute, and I never ceases to amaze me the resources that we have. So you want to make sure after today, you go into Primerica Online and check out the resources on the CRM system. There are help videos. These are excellent. They're short, they're sweet, they're to the point. So if you hear something, you're like, I need to learn more about that. Be proactive, go and check out the help videos. Also on the home page or the main page of POL, every day we see what's called the playbook, and I'm not going to share my screen, but it's a very easy to find blue square, has all the highlights of what's going on in the business, and right in that playbook, you find a hyperlink to the CRM training that's been done in the past. And you could literally just give yourself the University of CRM with that historical account of all those archives and check out what you can learn, not just in 1 hour, but maybe take a couple minutes every day and go in there and watch a different video. You will be amazed. And then obviously put it into practice. Therein lies the rub, right? Everything's great in theory. It's the execution, and that's what you're going to get today. So I'd love for you to help me welcome our first speaker. She is going to knock it out of the park. Jody Oral comes to us with some great ideas of how to incorporate the use of the CRM as a foundation in your business. She's a $200,000 plus earner, so definitely someone you want to pay attention to. And she's excited about building a generational company, right? Something that will last beyond just what she does. And her husband Dan is her biggest cheerleader. So we're so excited to hear from you, Jody, and just take it away. Thank you for your time.
All right. Well, glad to be here this morning, guys. And I want to give you some tools and nuggets and just some, really meat and potatoes of getting in there and getting your hands dirty and using our digital marketing tools that Primerica has provided us. I am just flabbergasted at how far Primerica has come in just a very, very short period of time. When we started the business, we did presentations on a legal pad. Like, we had to remember everything in our brain and write it all down. That's how long we've been here. And now through digital marketing, which we have pretty much rebranded CRM training, it's now digital marketing training. And just kind of an overview for those of you that are just kind of new plugging in, or if you've been plugging in for a little while, there's so many different facets of this digital marketing platform that Primerica has. We have our CRM now. We have the landing pages. We have campaigns, which if you started with us, I think it was April or May that we started with this new CRM. They have added so many professional campaigns, it will blow your mind. I think when it first came out, there was like 6 or 7. And now there's like 60, it's just amazing. And they're coming up with new content all the time. Primerica also has their own social media posts that you can share to your social media pages. Super professional, makes you look like a hero. Calendar links that you can send out to your clients. You can attach those to the campaigns that you're sending out. And a client can literally just click a link and schedule on your calendar. No more phone calls, okay, to set an appointment. You send them the link, they will look at your schedule and see what the perfect time would be to meet with you based on your schedule. Zoom meetings, oh my goodness. Another thing that has just revolutionized our business over the last 2 years, the contact quick ad, which I'm going to show you today, QR codes, custom lists, the list goes on and on and on of all the digital marketing tools that Primerica has added. So what I'm going to do today is just kind of share with you some daily practices and also weekly practices that we are not only doing ourselves, but teaching our team how to do as well. So on a daily basis, what we do, and I'm going to kind of just show or tell you what we do, and then I'm going to show you in CRM how we're doing that. The first thing that we do is we look at our CRM on the dashboard, and I'll show you where that is in a second. And we look at that dashboard and we call, I say we, my husband does most of this, call everybody that has a birthday that day, all the follow-ups that are showing up, any annual reviews. There's also, you know, as people are turning or getting close to 65, you've got senior healthcare calls on there, you've got required minimum distribution calls on there. So just going in on a daily basis, looking at that dashboard and making the phone calls, okay? It doesn't take a lot of time. You just got to go in there and do it. And then the other thing is going into your custom list, and I'll show you a little bit about custom list today too. Having a pending list, okay? So view that pending list, make sure you're staying on top of things. And then you're going to set from the week before, you're going to create a custom list, and you're actually going to start calling on those. And so I'll show you what that looks like in a second. On a weekly basis, you're going to set a goal for the week of how many new names that you want to add into your CRM. You know, our business is all about marketing. It's all about marketing to a large number of people, not just one or two. And so the more people that you have, you know, we've kind of have this mantra with CRM that you want to have about 1,000 people. That's kind of like everything starts at RVP, you know, so CRM, everything starts at 1,000 names. So if you don't have 1,000 names in your CRM, you need to set your goals pretty high of how many you can add into your CRM on a weekly basis. If you're already at 1,000 or more, it's really obviously you're going to keep adding names into there, but you're going to really mine the gold that you have currently. Then we're going to start talking about custom lists. Okay, so on a weekly basis, meet with your partner, meet with your office manager, maybe even get together as a team and think of some ideas. Okay, go through your contacts and kind of have a goal, especially if, you know, say you've been in the business a long time and you've already got like 1,000 or 1,500, you're going to have to go through every single contact at some point. Update the data, make sure you have notes in there, make sure every single contact, and this is what we talk to our team all the time, make sure every single contact is in a custom list, okay? And they can be in more than one. That's a really unique thing. You can, you know, open up one contact and you can put them in multiple lists that you see fit. And then pick a list for the next week that you're going to actually call on. So you're actually the marketing department and you're going to be thinking of ideas, and maybe you want to add a different custom list, okay? And then you're going to go out here and you're going to look at your campaigns, okay? Are there any new campaigns that you want to use, okay? And then what kind of marketing ideas do you have, okay? So be thinking of, you know, on a weekly basis that, you know, okay, I want to market to realtors this week, or I want to, you know, call all of my, well, now that tax season's over, I want to call all of my clients that haven't maxed out their IRAs. So that would be a custom list, okay? And then there's a way that you can check your campaign results. So I'm going to kind of dive into what each of these things look like. So here's what we do on a daily basis. Okay, the first thing that you're going to do, this is where your CRM looks like. You've got your dashboard here, and you can see there's one follow-up phone call that needs to be made. There's 4 annual review calls that need to be made. There's 11 birthdays. There's 9 RMDs. There's 9 senior health. Okay, so every day we're going in here, we're checking off the things that, and you can, check it. So once you've made that follow-up call, it doesn't pop up that same thing again. But that's the very first thing that you do. And maybe those calls will take you maybe 45 minutes out of your day. Maybe it'll take you an hour. For those of you that are really busy, you've already got a very seasoned business, you're going to need a partner or an office manager that's going to help you assist with those. Okay. So that's the first thing that you're going to do. This is what it'll look like. The first thing that we personally start with is the birthdays. What you'll notice on the left side, if it has a P, so the blue dot there with the P, those are prospects. So those may be like an old recruit potentially that, is no longer active. Could be a former client that is no longer, maybe they, their policy lapsed or something like that. Or it could be an actual prospect that's just in your database. We call everybody. The green little dot is a client. Okay, so what we'll do, first of all, we'll go into our virtual base shop. We'll kind of get to know this client just a little bit and then make the call. Okay, most important thing that you're going to want to do each time you go into your CRM, you either make an outbound call or you talk to somebody, you're going to put a note in. So now I'm in the contact piece. You're going to put your note in there. The more information, the better. Okay, so you're going to put that in there. The next thing that you're going to do once you've made all of your calls, then you're going to go over here to custom list. So again, we're on the left side of the screen here on custom list. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the custom list for our pending items. Okay, now what is a pending item? What could be an immediate follow-up? Anything that you don't want to forget. And so this can be your, follow up on life policies, follow up on investments. Say you've already done the application, but you've got to follow it all the way through to, that account getting funded. It could be following up with recruit. It could be following up with, a prospect that you told, that you would call today. So your pending list can be whatever it is you want to put into that list. It's just helping you make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. Okay, now I'm in that pending list. Okay, once you've done that, and let's say you have followed it all the way through, you got the policy delivered, or the money has been funded, you can remove that name out of that list. Okay, so all you do inside the list, you'll see all the names there. You just put a little check mark besides the name, and then you hit remove list, and it will take them out of that contact list. Okay, so very, very simple there. Then you're going to go into a custom list that you developed from the week before. Okay, and so you're going to strategize on a weekly basis. Okay, I'm going to make a custom list, and I'm going to reach out to my clients that haven't fully funded their IRAs. And you're going to actually send out the really awesome campaign that Primerica has. Then you're going to call every single person on that list throughout the week. Okay, so that gives you a reason to call people. And that's what CRM is about, is to help you, put you in a position where this is a business. Okay, and you are thinking of ideas of, why do I need to call somebody? Okay. And so, so that's what you're going to be doing now weekly. So that's what you're doing on a daily basis. You're working through those, but once a week, you're going to get with like your mastermind, group, some people in your team, maybe your spouse, maybe your office manager, and you're going to have maybe an hour of brainstorming every week on these things that I'm going to show. One thing you can do if you're a regional vice president is you can go into your contacts. So if you look over here on the left side, right underneath the dashboard, it says contacts. Okay, so you can go into your contacts, you can go right here, and there's 3 different options. You can have your own, okay, your personal contacts that you have in there. your base shop contacts that you have in there total, and you can have your downline. Well, what I like to do is I like to personally go into my base shop, and this number that's circled right here is going to show how many names, how many contacts our base shop has put into CRM in the last 7 days. So if you do this on a weekly basis and you're looking at it on the same day every single week, you're going to be able to see the pulse of your team. Okay, you'll compare that to, okay, well, I put in 20 names and the rest of the team only put in 8. Okay, I need to help some people on this, right? And then you can take it a step further and you can click on downlines and you can search. So think about the people that are active in your business, that are full-time, your serious part-timers, and you can search by their name or their solution number, and you can actually see how many they've been putting in. You can work with those people. You know, what I like to do is work with the people that are ready now, okay? I like to encourage those that aren't necessarily ready right now, not beat them up, right? But I like to really work with those that are ready to get it going now. And this is a super simple way to look at that as you go, oh my gosh, Anna put in 20 names this last week. I'm going to go in here and go in the notes on those contacts. I'm going to see who these people are. I'm going to encourage her. I'm going to ask her, you know, how's it looking with, you know, Mr. Smith over here? Have you contacted him? What kind of custom list do you have him in? What campaigns are you sending out to people? So it just gives you, again, another reason to reach out to not just your clients, but to your agents, to your teammates, okay? If you see that somebody, you know, maybe they're talking a big game, oh my gosh, I'm going to do some big things, and all you see for weeks in a row is zeros on people added into CRM, well, you know, maybe they don't know how to do it, or maybe they're just not, you know, putting their money where their mouth is. So that's a conversation that you can have with those agents. So on a weekly basis, you're continually adding contacts. There's a great way through the Primerica app that Primerica is allowing us to add contacts to your CRM. So let's say you're out and about, you know, you meet somebody, you pull up your phone, okay? You go right into the Primerica app, you have a great conversation with somebody. Instead of writing that down on a piece of paper or a napkin or something like what we used to do in the good old days, just take out your phone. Hit that little prospect quick add. What I do is I hand the phone to the person. I say, would you mind putting your name and number in here? And I'll contact you, you know, in a day or two. You know, you'll ask them when they can be contacted. And so you'll hit this little view profile once you have their name in there. And the most important thing is to add, well, 2 things. One is to add a note, okay? Put some detail in there of how did you meet this person? What did they say? Did you find out? Are they married? Do they have kids? You know, sometimes in a short, you know, conversation, you can find out a lot of information from somebody. Maybe you're in some networking groups. Maybe you're out and about, you know, wherever. You know, we should be talking to people everywhere we go. The next thing that you're going to want to do, you're still in the app, is you're going to want to add a follow-up. Okay, so you're going to go right here, hit this little plus sign right there, and you're going to put in there, okay, when you're actually going to call this person. So maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's later this afternoon. You're going to schedule that as a follow-up. So when you go into your dashboard, remember we talked about going into your dashboard on a daily basis, it's going to pop up as a follow-up to remind you to call this person, okay? Making your business super, super simple so nothing falls through the cracks. Another little hack here, let's say, because we're in the world of, you know, texting, you know, when would be a good time to call, or, hey, I met you at Target the other day. You can actually copy and paste whatever you text right into your notes section into the Primerica app. How cool is that? Okay, so just, you know, be mindful of that as well. And then we're going to be looking at the custom list on a weekly basis. We're going to be, obviously, we've got our goal that we have set, and we're going to be going through those contacts, making sure that every single contact eventually is in a custom list. Okay, that's very, very key to your CRM. You're going to go into your custom list and campaigns, and you're going to be asking yourself, you know, how am I going to use my custom list to call, for the next week. So again, marketing ideas, think about that. You're going to be able to check your campaign results. I'll show you that in 1 second. And then, as I said before, you're going to take that creative hour once a week with your, your key people in your office, with your office manager. You're going to be thinking, okay, let's look at the Primerica social media posts. What could we maybe use to drive business this week? Maybe we're going to use our landing pages. I mean, there's so many ideas and so many things that this digital marketing platform that Primerica gives us. So now what we're going to do, we're going to keep moving down the list. So we've talked about the dashboard. We've talked about contacts. We've talked about custom lists. Now we're going to go down here to campaigns. Okay. So let's go here to campaigns. And what you're going to do, if you're brand new to CRM, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to click on the campaign button, and I actually want you to read every single campaign. Now that's going to take a bit, okay, but it's going to be worth it. And you are going to be blown away with how much our home office team and our field leaders have put into this system. And you're going to start coming up with ideas. And again, I wouldn't try to do this all by yourself. I do it with, 3 or 4 people that are in the game that want to do something, because one person may think of a great idea and, oh my gosh, you start bouncing these ideas back and forth with each other. They've also made it very simple. They've kind of categorized. So they've got the holiday campaigns together, investment campaigns together. You can kind of see all the different topics down here. What you can do when you find a campaign that you're like, oh, wow, that one's really cool, and I'm going to show you one that we like to use, you can actually star that one, and that will become a favorite. So when you send out a campaign, it'll be at the top of the list. Okay, so you don't have to scroll through like 60 different campaigns and try to remember, now what was that campaign called? So just star it as a favorite. This is one that we like to use, okay, reconnection. And you can really send this out to anybody. If you've been in the business for any time at all and you haven't really had a good follow-up system, this is a great campaign to use, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to have your custom list, okay? So this is, this is in the Rep Marketing Center, and we're going to send this out. So we're doing this on a weekly basis. We're going to come up with a different campaign that we're sending out to a custom list. And so this custom list, we're going to send the reconnection contact campaign out to our custom list that is, it's described as old recruits that we want to stay in touch with, okay? So maybe, timing wasn't right, they didn't stick with it, but we believe that, hey, maybe down the road, it'll be better timing for them. So all you have to do is you have to click, say there's 70 people in this custom list. We can send to all those people at the same time with the click of a button. You can either schedule the date and time, or you can send it out immediately. Once you have that sent out, guess what? That's your list that you're going to be calling on next week. And now you have a reason to call them. Isn't that cool? So you can also look at the campaign results right in the Rep Marketing Center. If you go into that campaign, there'll be a little button like it says right here. You can preview it, number one, or you can look at the results. Okay, so you can click on the results. You can see how many people actually opened it. You can click on that. You can see who opened it. Okay, so it's very, very sophisticated. You just got to get in there and do that. And then Heidi mentioned at the beginning, one big thing is, oh my gosh, Jody, this is so much information. I'm brand new. This is like drinking from a fire hydrant, right? Fire hose, right now. Well, the company has made it super simple. All the way down at the bottom, there's this little help button, okay? And just like what she just mentioned, there's these 2-minute, 1-minute little videos. So if you're brand new and you're like, okay, I don't even know how to create a custom list. Guess what? There's a 2-minute and 34-second video that's going to show you how to access and how to create a custom list. Okay, so I hope that gave you guys some value today. Heidi, I'm going to kick it back over to you.
Wow, Jody, I don't know, but I think I'm gonna have to like star this training and watch it about 10 times because you hit it out of the park. Thank you for your insight. And I was kind of just thinking about what you said about how it can be so much information, just take it in bite-sized chunks, right? And what I see us doing as a business is pretty amazing. And I wrote down a phrase and it kind of hit home with me. And that is because of the CRM and just who we are as people, we're all really out here to do something very special. Is that we are, I say, building genuine relationships in a disciplined approach, genuine relationships with people, not spam, not pop-up ads, not anything that's unsavory. I mean, this is like real life, connecting with people. And I just love this process. So we're going to bring up our next speaker, who I think is going to just do a phenomenal job. Dan O'Deck out of Tennessee. Love Tennessee. And he is $100,000 earner. And he is super pumped up to build AUM and his team. So we say assets under management and people under management. I'll say it the nice way, right? And Dano said that his wife Heather is his absolute biggest cheerleader and just another testimony to partnership, which I can also say has been a blessing in my life. My husband and I, Andrew, we built this business together, so it's been a joy. Anyway, without further ado, please help me welcome Dano Beck.
All right, guys, thanks for having me on. Great job, Jody. I always like when you guys break down all the different things that we have, because it's like taking a drink off of a fire hose. So we're going to kind of go the same way as we dive into the area I want to cover today, and that is actually going to be on landing pages. So the first thing, as I'm loading up that screen, is, let's talk about what's a landing page, what's a website. When the field team started working with the home office, we had to have a lot of discussions as far as differentiating what did we want, how did we want these things to work. And so the websites, like the company's always had us, what we call, business card website. Well, websites are designed for exploring. You get in there and, a good website will have you chasing down so many rabbit holes you don't know where to go. The problem is you chase down all these rabbit holes and nothing ever happens. We as advisors don't even know that the client got on our website because they just got lost and they never did anything. They got too much information, couldn't make a decision, couldn't act. So the difference is a landing page is customized. It's customized to a specific call to action. So what the company's been able to create for us is two different types of landing pages. And the one landing page is what we call, career focused or opportunity focused. And that's for recruiting. That's how do we introduce people to the business? How do we introduce them to the opportunity to come on board and join the team? The other is what we call the client facing. So if you're on the CRM, basically landing pages is right over here and, from the dashboard just below it. And then you're going to click on that link and it's going to open up here. So start your landing page. What's the first thing you really need to do? Step 2 is actually what I call step 1. And that is you need a scheduling link. You can go get one, just a free scheduling link, whether it's Calendly, whether it's, Book Like a Boss, whether it's Acuity, doesn't matter. Get yourself one, get that link submitted to the, to the CRM team so they can get you approved. So it's an approved link so that we can use it on your landing pages. And so that way, when somebody actually calls to action, it's going to link them directly to you so they can schedule a follow-up time and go from there. Then if you want to expand on those tools, you can get more creative as far as what your input sheet for an appointment might be, so that maybe you're gathering not only their name and their contact information, like their email and their phone number, but you can add other things like questions. Are they married? What's their date of birth? Do they have an anniversary date? Things like that. You can collect as much data that doesn't scare somebody off, but at least enough to be able to put it in there, because everything that they input on that scheduling page is data that you can put into your CRM, which gives you additional follow-up measures. So like with mine, it even gives them a space where they can fill out what specifically are they wanting to meet about, whether that's a career opportunity, or maybe they want a full financial needs analysis. They want to review their financial independence number. It gives them those options to be able to drill down. So that way, if Jody got on my landing page, scheduled an appointment. I know exactly what she's scheduled, what we need to be discussing. So that's basically why those scheduling links are actually kind of the most important thing. So that way your landing page has an actual call to action. So you're going to set up your landing page, and how do you do that? We've got basically, a tutorial that the company has created for us to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on edit. Mine are already set up. But as we go down through here, again, you can pick what that end's going to be. So like, for instance, this is the opportunity page. So basically I've got that as deck career. So that's just basically, so it drives it to my particular area. And so as we go through there, you can preview the page of how we've kind of set things up. It walks you down through it. So pick your picture, whether that's your partnership picture, whether it's your individual picture. The subject matter on this one, because it's career focused, is what? Starting a business in the financial services industry. So that's where we want. I selected the Live More video. There's actually another video on there. So you can kind of preview the videos and see which one kind of caters to your conversation. You'll see the text, you'll see the photos, tells where you're at. They can click on this video link and it'll actually play that video for them. 2 minutes gets them there. Then their call to action, they've got 2 buttons they can choose from. They can either schedule an appointment or they can get more information. Schedule an appointment immediately goes to your calendar page. They book a time. Get more information. It's going to send you a message that, Jody got on your website, on your landing page, actually requested some more information, whatever that may be. And then it contacts us, lets us know that. It'll allow you to set up your signature and so forth for the page as well. And then all the disclosures, companies taking care of that for us. So again, what reasons to motivate them? It's just some things there. But as you'll see, there's nowhere for them to go outside of either viewing it, watching a video, and then taking a call to action. So it's very short, it's very direct, no rabbit holes to kind of get chased down into. Another great tool that they've allowed us is you can copy these links. Okay, once your link is set up, it's set up. You've got QR codes. So depending upon how you're marketing about, Jody actually mentioned that she hands the client or prospect her phone. I literally do the same thing. I actually shortcut it a little bit. And what I do is this link right here has been copied and it's in a shortcut in my phone. So all I have to do is type in my shortcut, which I actually use, the pound symbol. So just pound career. And so if I type pound career in the text, when I hit the space bar, it populates that web address immediately. So I'd hand my phone to Jody. I say, hey, Jody, if you would type in your phone number here, just put your name and then just shoot me that text. And what I'll do is I'll get you my information. I don't hand out business cards. I send them to my landing page. That's where people are at. During COVID, nobody wanted your business card, or you couldn't hand it to them anyway because somebody sneezed all over it, whatever. But it allows us to be able to have that. But then now again, I've got Jody's phone number at least in my phone, so I can follow up. Hey, Jody, did you have a chance to go check out my contact information that you were asking for? And so again, I've got that information. Now the QR code works kind of the same way. What I've done on my QR code is it's actually saved as the background on my phone. So I can literally just hold my phone out. They can take a picture of my home page on my phone. It's got my QR code there. It'll drive them directly to the website, the landing page. So that way it moves them forward. So it's just quick tools that you can use to utilize this technology that the home office has been able to create for us, utilizing both the client focused and the opportunity focused. So it allows us to kind of differentiate when we're having those conversations with people. And now we've got a resource that we can direct them to and call to action. Now, the thing is that doesn't eliminate our follow-up. Obviously, if I sent Jody this information, 24 to 48 hours, I'm following up. Did she have a chance to get on the website? Did she have a chance to look at it? And so that way, if she's got any questions, and then we can kind of take the next step from there. But because of that calendar link, I just tell it, hey, I liked what I saw. I'm not sure what my schedule is. Well, great. Just use that link on the landing page and go ahead and schedule a time that works best for you. And so it's just that follow-up, keeping them in the system. And every time we're making that contact, we're gathering more of their data to be able to build that relationship and communicate with them. So that's pretty much what I've got put together just to kind of show you the landing pages. The big thing is they're both there. They're included in your POL membership. So it doesn't cost you any money. You don't have to worry about, is it going to be compliant? Is it not going to be compliant? Everything's there. It's going to meet all regulations across the country. So now just create it through the tutorial, hit submit, they review it. Once it's approved, now you've got an arsenal of tools you can take out there and market yourself digitally.
Wow, amazing job, Dano. You are a superstar and I learned so much. Thank you for sharing that. I just think about, in my circle, I know so many people who run businesses that are not a part of Primerica, and just to develop this kind of program would either, take them out of business because they couldn't do it, or financially they couldn't afford to do it. And it's just absolutely a dream to be in this business with the support we have. Congratulations on all your success, and I expect to see you on here many more times talking about your growth in your business. So way to go. Next we have an amazing person to hear from. Bo Buisson is, a part of, I would say, a legendary family. We hear a lot about the royals over in England. They're like the royals of Primerica, the Buisson family, and just so delighted that he has been a major contributor to what you're observing today. He's a major contributor to the CRM process and its development, and we owe him a debt of gratitude for that. And I asked him, who's his biggest cheerleader, and he said definitely his wife, Mayor, is like his rock. So everybody's got their support, right? Whether it's a spouse, friend, family member. And for everybody out there who has people maybe not supporting them, do not despair. Just be patient with those people. They will come around, and they will be your biggest supporters if you stick with it and don't give up. That's all I can tell you. It's from personal experience. So without, again, further ado, creating a business to span generations, please give it up for the fabulous RVP Bo Buisson.
Thanks, Heidi. Yeah, what a great show so far, guys. Jody and Dano, I mean, you guys were phenomenal. I loved it. Just some great things to do. So I'm hoping that we'll do a little bit of that too. I've got the kind of the pleasure here to talk with a little crew of six-figure earners. So we're going to pop these guys up on the screen, but we got some true pros here. Josh Lindsay out of Illinois. We've got fellow second generation Primerican, Maxime Cousineau from Quebec. He's going to be talking with me for a second here. And then we've got Dave Deal from Pennsylvania. And Dave, I've kind of grown up knowing Dave and his family, and he's helped me a lot personally over my life and over my career. And I love his family. Excited to hear from you guys. But I just want to kind of hear from you guys on some kind of practical things. And I know our theme today is sort of digital marketing and daily activity. But I think all of us at some point, we've all struggled with what should I be doing every day, right? Right. That's one thing we all have in common, right? So kind of what are my daily routines? So I'm going to throw this question around to you guys, but if you kind of give me just a quick tip or two, what have you done, or what have you been doing daily, or what have really benefited your business, kind of some of the daily activities, some of the daily routines that you guys have done. So I don't know. We'll start with you, Max. We'll let you start us off here. How's that?
Well, thank you, Bo. Really appreciate it to be on today. And I think for everybody, I think we if you're just starting with CRM, you're probably at a different position than someone has been using for a year now. Because I look at me today and me last year, now I have follow-ups going on. So my daily is actually going on my follow-ups and see what I need to do. But I've got follow-ups that I put 3 months ago to be in contact with clients today. So I used to have that, in my agenda, but I have more today. I don't know why, because I have more notes. I keep in contact with more clients, and using also the app that I use Equity, right? Which is actually when I send campaigns, clients can actually schedule themselves. And from week to week, I have more and more clients scheduling. And I notice, depending on what campaigns I send, they're either reacting or not, and I go see who opened it, who didn't open it. I see what works, what doesn't work. But now I have people scheduling their own annual follow-up or 3 months follow-up. They just called me and said, well, you sent me an email and it was asking me to contact you. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll talk a little bit. either on the phone or through Zoom. It takes 15 minutes, but I just feel now that my relationship with my clients kind of bonded more with the people that are actually interacting with the system now. But all the heavy pulling is done by the system. It's all automatic now. So you have to start somewhere to kind of go through your list and start sending those campaigns. If you don't have the emails, I didn't have, and still don't have for a lot of clients because I've been in business for 23 years. I have to call them and kind of get them on that boat, you know. But just keep in mind, I've got old clients and they'll still want to communicate directly with me, right? But the new ones and the one that got used to it the last few years, last year basically, have no problem scheduling themselves, have no problem communicating through the system, through CRM. So that would be, you know, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's, I mean, perfect. I think that's super, super great tips. So I don't know, we'll jump over to you, Josh. What do you, what kind of ideas and tips do you have for us?
Well, in terms of daily activity, something I learned a long time ago from Bill Render is everyone knows this is a numbers game, and you know you got to focus on whatever numbers your coach is telling you to focus on. But a good one was 10 contacts a day, getting 10 yeses or nos. So not 10 phone calls, 10 yeses or nos, because on average, Bill said, you know, you can expect to get 2 yeses out of 10. If you do that 5 days a week, that's 10 yeses for the week. If you have 10 people saying, yes, I want to meet with you, then we know about 4 will actually show up. And out of 4, you know, 1 will join the business. And so CRM is a great way to do this in terms of either, you know, using the follow-ups, or if you get new prospects, you can add them into CRM. The other thing I do is I do follow up with my clients on their birthday month. So every month I pull up the birthday list and I just leave a message like happy early birthday, happy belated birthday, whatever. Just check in with them. I have an office manager who calls them 3 other times a year, but I call them on their birthday month. So that's my daily activity goal.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Great. All right, Dave, the old time pro, you know, I don't know. Do you know how to work? I'm just kidding. You like my family, so I got to give Dave a hard time, but give us some tips, Dave, because you're the pro here. So
yeah, it's not old timer, veteran.
There you go.
So, but no, it's a great question. And I thought all the speakers, Dano and Jody, did a phenomenal job today. And, you know, what we use it for is we use the dashboard primarily as kind of a script to go on. And like Josh, we have a staff, and that's one of the things I would say to invest in as soon as possible in your business, is to get a staff that can do the things you don't feel like doing. And so that's a great way to do it. And so we do the, you know, follow up on the annual reviews and certainly the birthdays. And instead of calling them, we have 132 birthdays in April as an example. So I certainly personally don't have time to do all that. But what I do is I'll send them a quick text, because the texting, you can send it pretty much anytime when you have a moment. And I'll just send them a birthday text, and that follows up on the birthday, you know, automatic notification that they get from CRM. And so that's key. And then our staff follows up on the RMDs and the senior health. And, you know, we have, you know, those coming up all the time as well. You know, when you have some of you on here have a seasoned business and you have a lot of people that you can go through, because I hardly set appointments anymore. And we still stay fully booked with 10 to 15 appointments a week. But they come to us, they come to the office, we do Zoom, whatever it takes. So that's kind of our daily regimen, is just using the system to generate new business and follow up business, and go from there to build that lifetime relationship.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that doesn't happen overnight, right? Like that's the kind of thing that, I mean, you just, you know, because a lot of times we're new in the business and we go, oh, you know, I can't wait till that, you know, that point where it's just happening, you know, just coming to me.
No, but it's certainly easier when you're getting started to set up these systems. And then as your volume increases, it's easier than to just have them plug into the system. You know, Josh mentioned that his staff calls a couple times a year. We do that too. We call it our quarterly calls. We just went through it. I have one staff member, she's phenomenal at it. And she just lets them know. I do the message and give it to her. And then she lets them know what's happening. And then we always have following that, like 3 weeks after the quarterly calls, is our quarterly dinner seminar, our wealth strategy seminar that we do. And it's just, again, a system of folding them in and building that trust and that lifetime relationship.
Yeah, no, I think that's so important. Super, super good. Great points. So I'm going to flip this around a little bit just because, we're always talking about what are the right things to do. So I want to, because I know I've screwed up so much stuff in my career, so I want to just have a little fun here, right? So instead of talk about the right things to do, give me a like maybe something that you've done or something that you've seen other people do that maybe just like, all right, don't do that. Don't screw that up. Or, like sometimes we do stupid stuff or we waste time on things, right? So I don't know, Dave, I don't know. We just left off with you. We'll let age go before beauty this time. How's that?
Thanks, man. And yeah, I think I said it already in terms of, I think where people make a mistake is they don't get administrative help till it's too late. You try to do it too long yourself. And whether you have a partner participate, which I've got an awesome partner, married 43 years now, and she's been with me in the business now 31 years, actually full-time in the business. When she took over that role, thank goodness, to where she's now built out the staff, but she did it all early on. And I think that's what happens. People wait too long and they try to do it all themselves. So that would be my biggest thing that I see with people, the mistake they made or make is they don't get help fast enough.
That's good. That's good. What about you, Josh? You see any mistakes people make out there or stupid stuff that we do?
Yeah, I mentioned I have office help, but that's new in the last couple of years, and I've been here for over 20 years, so it took me a long time to learn that lesson. So definitely, and you don't have to hire someone full-time, it can just be a few hours a week, but certainly wasting time on paperwork that someone else can do, that you can pay, wasting time on social media, thinking you're marketing when really you're just wasting time on social media. And then just chasing the same people. I mean, the reason we say get 1,000 name list is because you want to have so many people to follow up with that you're not calling the same 10 people every week. I believe in follow-up. I consider myself a follow-up king. I will follow up forever, but you got to be professional about it and space it out and be smart about it. And so you just can't beg people and chase them. And I think people make that mistake sometimes.
Yeah, I think we do. We most of us naturally err one way or the other, right? Like we talked to somebody one time and then they said no, I'm never talking to them again, right? Or else I got one person on our list and we call them 16 times a day, right? So that's the two extremes. And I think most people sort of tend to do one or the other, and having a great professional CRM system to follow up like we have and remind us, like put notes in there. Yeah, I love that. That's great, Josh. I appreciate that. That's good. So what about you, Max? What other things you get to add to this?
Well, clearly social media, if you are consuming social media instead of using it as a marketing tool, you may be wasting your time. Well, you're wasting your time, right? And just make sure you follow parameter rules and, use DMs as, the marketing and getting in contacts with those people. And a big waste of time for me, usually was meetings. If you're doing meetings that are non-productive, there's no return on investment and just doing meetings and meetings, but there's nothing coming out of that. You got to change it up. You got to figure it out a better way of doing stuff for you and the rest of the people, and figure out, am I wasting time with some people that are non-productive? Also, the biggest waste sometimes is spending time with the wrong people. You may think you got people or recruits, but maybe you should get someone else, because having bodies there that are not producing or not recruiting, well, you better get someone else that actually wants to do it, right?
Man, great points. Man, that was awesome. You guys actually know what you're talking about here, huh? No, that's good. So, all right. So last question, we already talked about this, but if you have anything else or anything real specific, I'd like for you to share just sort of some of these, because we sort of talked about having office staff or maybe unloading some of the things that really need to get done, but probably I shouldn't be the one doing them. I think that's a lot of times talked about when we're talking about all the CRM stuff. So and I know Dave, you kind of had a couple examples. And you guys already had a few things, but if there's anything else, like I'd love for you to just share some specifics on what should I be, sometimes we call it outsourcing, right? Things that I need to get off of my plate, So I don't know. I mean, we'll just, Josh, I haven't let you go first yet. So I don't know. You got anything?
Yeah, a couple things. I mentioned I have someone that spends, I think it's really only an hour or two a week doing quarterly calls. So I call, my clients get 4 calls a year. I do the birthday call, and then my office manager does the other 3 quarters. And again, I give her a message what to leave. And so having someone call, it's real. I have a daughter who's she's almost 19. She's coming home this summer. So I'm thinking about hiring her now to do it. Life insurance stuff, like following up on medical exams or medical records. Instead of me chasing it down, someone else can do that. And then our PFSU instructor is our licensing manager, where whatever time she spends helping my teammates with paperwork or questions they have, it gets all directed to her because she's the expert. And then if it's technical, I let her do it. If it's more leadership, motivational type stuff, and getting to know them, then I'll do that. But
no, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I know. And so Dave, you give us a couple more here, because you got so many things. I know you got so many ideas. We got to try to pull some more out of you.
Yeah, no problem. Well, what you find out is in our business, FU is a good thing. And of course, I'm talking about follow-up. And so what, you have to have a system to help you do that in your business. And that's what I know we've been talking a lot about it, but I mentioned that, have other people do the stuff you don't have time to do. And that's what our staff does. We have 3 folks on our staff that does the follow-up, that sets the follow-up. And then my job is to do revisitation. And, it all comes around, because when we do revisitation, we have a whole checklist on that of going through a certain process in revisitation. And first and foremost on it is to make sure you have their proper contact information, because if, garbage in, garbage out, if we don't have the proper names and the emails and the cell numbers in our system, it doesn't help us very much. And so we make sure we have the most up-to-date. So when we do follow-ups, we make sure that we go through that checklist and stay accurate. The whole goal for me is to visit with the people, whether it's face-to-face or on Zoom, and continue that relationship. And then our team does a phenomenal job at follow-up. So I can't express that strong enough.
Awesome. All right, Max, give us your perspective on this. Tell me some ideas here.
Yeah, just a quick idea. Depending on where you are in the business, if you have a small team or no team or a big team, you may not need a full-time admin help, right? So maybe just a spouse could do a few hours a week for you, just to help you on some of the stuff you're not that good, but also for your client to hear another voice makes another impression, right? If someone is calling, I'm calling in the name of Maxim, he told me to call you to do a follow-up, and you go through that script, it builds credibility also for your client. When you're calling back, they feel there's the team behind it, right? They're thinking of me, I'm in the system, and he's organized, right? So that leaves a good impression, but it doesn't need to cost you a lot of money. You could share an OM with someone, or have a recruit or a rep that does some of that work for you. So just think out of the box. If you're not that big, team up with someone else, check with a partner or family member that could help you out with that.
Man, that's awesome. Well, I loved it. I got a ton out of this. I think everybody else did too. So we're about out of time here. So we'll wrap it up. I will kick it back to you, Heidi, and let you finish us off. But great job, guys. I appreciate it.
Wonderful job. Great job, Bo, being the host of the panelist discussion. And I've just been taking notes and notes and notes. So thank you, everybody. And what I just realized is that, some of the things that we talked about today are really fun. And some of the things are not always so glamorous, making sure someone's email is correct. Not a glamorous activity. However, it will lead to unbelievable results in your business down the line. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So just know, wherever you are in business, we've got your back as a team. The company has got our back. And it's so funny when I talk to people, they say, "Oh, you work for Primerica?" And I say, well, I like to say Primerica works for me because I'm a business owner And this is a perfect example of that, about how the support is just getting better and better and better, and back to making it better for the newest person. As I was preparing for today, I just thought we're in the golden age of this business, and I do not want to be a part of any other company. And if I could start all over again, I'd want to start today, because it's just gotten so good, right? Want to thank everybody for the participation, including everybody who tuned in. You make this, really valuable, this training, and you being a part of it, just observing is tremendous. So I applaud you for attending and taking notes, and then applying at least one thing. Take one thing today and apply it to your business. Thank you, everybody. Make it a great day, and let's have a great month end.